Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, and freaks of nature of all ages. My name is Brian Bad Hippie Jackson, and welcome to my YouTube. And welcome to episode 2 of Bad Hippie's Book of Stupid. Now, today, I'm not going to be telling you a story about something that I did. I'm going to be telling you a story about some blatant stupidity that came out of somebody I used to know. Back in the early 90s, I lived in Florida. I lived in the just south of Orlando in Kissimmee, the Kissimmee-St. Cloud area. And I knew this guy named Bronson, or at least we're going to call him Bronson. Yeah, you know, we got to protect the innocent and the not so innocent as well. But Bronson was probably one of the single dumbest human beings I have ever met in my life. This man did not have the common sense that God gave a box of rocks. He was just a freaking idiot, which, of course, made for some of the greatest comic relief you ever want to see in your life. And today, I'm going to tell you the story about how Bronson got beat up by a tree. Yes, a tree. He got in a fight with a tree, and the tree won. So when I lived in Kissimmee, I used to live in this house. It was a 4-bedroom house, and there was a whole bunch of people that lived there. We were all in our early 20s, and we all liked to party, and we drank large amounts of alcohol, and we dropped large amounts of acid on a regular basis. And I would just like to interject right here that even though I used to drink a lot of booze and do hallucinogens, and I've experimented with hard drugs and things of that nature, that is not something that I support. That is not something that I condone. And my recommendation would be just leave it alone and don't even start to begin with, because quite honestly, it's caused me more trouble in my life than it was worth, and there are times where I wish I had never even done it. Of course, I have stories to tell, but I've always found it kind of pathetic that the best stories in my life generally start with something along the lines of, this one night we were doing tequila shots. I quit, and I quit for a damn good reason. I have not done hard drugs since I was 21 years old. I think it was like 91 was the last time I did any hard drugs, when I OD'd on cocaine and scared myself straight and almost killed myself. 94, I think, was the last time I had any hallucinogens of any type. And as far as alcohol goes, I've been sober. It'll be 10 years in January without a single drop of alcohol. So that's my recommendation for a much happier life, is just to leave the shit alone. But of course, you're going to do what you want to do anyways. But I've said my piece, and I've done my job and upheld my responsibility as an upstanding citizen and told you not to. All right. Anyways, back to Bronson and his idiocy, which he didn't have to be drunk to be stupid. He was just stupid. So we're all at the Animal House one night, and the house where I lived, it was 4-bedroom, a whole bunch of us shared it, and we called it the Animal House because we were all party animals, and we all liked that John Belushi movie. And it was Party Central. There was a party there every damn night. And out in the backyard, we had a fire pit. And right close to this fire pit was a thin little tree that was just a little bit more than a sapling, basically. And this tree was right by the fire pit. Now, Bronson, being the idiot that he was, had this kind of re-incarnation complex going on. He honestly believed that he was Jim Morrison reincarnated. Even though he was born before Jim Morrison died, he thought he was Jim Morrison reincarnated. He actually spent time looking around Orlando for a rooftop to live on, so that he could be like Jim Morrison. When Jim Morrison lived in LA and lived on that rooftop because he didn't want to pay rent, Bronson just thought that was cool. He wanted to live on a rooftop. I'm like, you're an idiot. This is frickin' Florida. You're going to get rained on constantly. But no, he was Bronson. He wouldn't listen to anybody. Anyways, we're all partying out in the backyard one night, and we got the fire pit going. And Bronson's got his Jim Morrison complex going on, and he's all dancing around the fire. And every time he'd make a circle around that fire pit, there was this thin, low-hanging branch coming off of that tree, and he would whack himself in the forehead with that branch. He'd be like, da-da-da-da, whack, motherfucker. Da-da-da-da-da. Whack! Son of a bitch! Da-da-da-da. Whack! Finally, it went to whack. God damn it, I'm going to kill that fucking tree. And so he gets his buddies, Rich and Tony, and he decides that they're going to break this branch off of this tree. So Bronson gets on one side of the branch and starts pushing, while Rich and Tony get on the other side of the branch and start pulling. Now you got to remember, this is a thin green tree. This branch don't want to break. What it does is pretty much wraps around the tree. And so Bronson's on one side just to push in, and Rich and Tony are on the other side just to pull in, and Bronson's pushing, and Rich and Tony are pulling, and the branch is just laughing at them, and finally Rich and Tony decide, fuck this, man, and they let go of the branch. And that thing said, whoa, and it launched him. It literally launched him because they let go of that branch and it just sprung right back on Bronson and it literally launched him across the yard. It was funny as hell. I'm sitting there laughing my ass off. My buddy Dino was laughing his ass off. Kerm, everybody there was just laughing at Bronson getting thrown in the dirt by a tree. And we thought it couldn't get any funnier than that. Oh, how wrong we were. So now Bronson's really pissed, and he decides he's going to kill this tree. So he goes storming into the house. Boom, 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 boom. And he goes slamming into the garage. You can hear the garage door open. And you hear stuff slamming around in the garage. Bang, bang, clash. And Bronson's all cussing. Son of a bitch, motherfucker. And he comes walking back out into the backyard with an aluminum baseball bat in his hand. I'm going to kill that goddamn tree. And he walks up to that branch and he raised that baseball bat straight back over his head. And he come down on that branch and when he did that, it said, bing! And that bat bounced off the branch and hit him right between the eyes in the frickin' forehead. Boom! Knocked him flat on his ass, unconscious. Slap out. He got knocked out by a damn tree. It was a laugh riot. It was amazing. I mean, honestly, it's a good thing he wasn't hurt more than he was because it took us a while to get to him and check on him because we were laughing so damn hard. It was hilarious. I've never seen anybody get knocked out by a tree before. I've never seen anybody get knocked out by a tree since. But Bronson did it. Knocked slap out by a tree. It was great. It was amazing. It was funny as shit. I will never forget that for as long as I live. And I will also never forget the fact that for the next week and a half, he walked around with this big, huge, red lump right in the middle of his dumb forehead. It was great. It was fantastic. And I hope you liked the story. Please check the links in the description below and help us support our veterans. They need it. They deserve it. They've earned it. Please support our veterans. If you liked the video, then hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Tell your friends and family to hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Please don't forget to leave me a comment. All comments are always welcome. Good, bad, somewhere in between. Thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate the support you've been giving me. And until next time, this is Brian Bad Hippie Jackson saying peace, love, clean underwear, and happy gaming.